Okay, I must admit, I have done quite a bit of shopping. Hi, welcome back. My name's Hannah. I like to film a lot of knitting, fiber, arts and crafts related content, and this past month of July has been filled with many new things. So I thought today I would share a kind of haul style video of everything I've gotten in the past month. This haul includes lots of yarn, of course, very exciting knitting, spinning related equipment, some fiber. We have books on all of the said topics. I guess a little disclaimer here is this is definitely not a normal month of shopping for me. I had a couple things I specifically needed to buy yarn for. I'm doing a couple test knits right now, so I needed specific things I didn't have in my stash. And then I ended up finding a good amount of stuff secondhand this month. So given the opportunity, I like to get it secondhand if I can. I'm slightly overwhelmed by how much I've accumulated this month. I'm excited about all of it, but just I guess a little disclaimer to say this is not my normal habits. So I'll timestamp all of this too if you're just interested in certain parts. Oh, also I'm using a new camera today, so let me know what you think. I'm still figuring out the audio of it all, so any opinions on video audio, let me know. Maybe grab a knitting project or something to work on, and let's just jump right in. The most exciting, probably the most exciting place I got all of this stuff was at a yarn and craft. I think it was marketed as a yarn and craft estate sale. Essentially, it was this studio space. It was this huge multi-room studio, which was goals. It was this woman, and it was basically her studio space that was filled to the brim with yarn, fiber, spinning, anything spinning, weaving, knitting, sewing. She had lots of fabric. So many books. I don't know. It was overwhelming. I had to go twice and focus my time because there was so much to see and look at. So it was just a cool thing to visit in general. And then of course everything was for sale. So I had to get some things. The biggest purchase I think of all is I bought a knitting machine. Which is something that I have had on my wish list of, fiber equipment for a long time. I thought I would get one eventually, but I wasn't really in a rush to buy one, and I kind of wanted to just let one come into my life at the right time, and this was kind of perfect. So is essentially brand new, and they were selling it for half off retail price. Someone who has no experience with knitting machines, I thought this would be a good use but basically new. I don't have to worry about repairs or if there's parts missing or anything. It came in the original packaging, basically looked brand new. So I thought that was a great find. The machine I got is a Silver Reed LK150. From my very limited knowledge about it, it is a beginner-friendly knitting machine that can use anything from sport weight to worsted weight yarn. Yeah, I really don't have too much to say about it because I have not used it yet. I've only watched a couple YouTube videos and stuff. I think once I fully unbox, set it up, and do the whole thing, I'll film that process. So if you have questions or are interested in seeing that, let me know. And yeah, I will definitely be sharing more about it in the future, but that was just such a great find. I feel like it was entered my life in a serendipitous way. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I feel I was waiting for it to come into my life, and it did. So yes, I'm very excited to have a knitting machine. And with that, they had quite a bit of cone yarn for sale, which is just easier format with a knitting machine. You can also just knit with this yarn. So I got 2 cones. This first one, this is a Jagger Spun merino. It's like a freaking racetrack outside. based on my very limited research, I think this might be too thin for my machine. I think I should measure the wraps per inch, but I think it's like maybe a fingering weight. So I'll either see if I can figure out how to hold it double, or maybe I will just hold it double and knit with it or something. But anyways, it's a lot of yarn for $10, so I'll take it. And yeah, it's merino. So that was my first purchase. And I also got this, which I have no information on the brand or anything. There's nothing on here, but it is a cotton boucle yarn. So it is like this nice kind of sage / army green color that it kind of has a boucle-ish texture to it. I thought that could be really fun for a summer knit. Again, this was $8, so yeah, I just wanted to get a couple things to hopefully try on the machine. Still figuring out how far away to hold things with this new camera, but and then my next item from the estate sale is this bag of 10 skeins of Rama garn. It's their 3-ply. I think it's like a DK weight. I think they still sell this style, but as you can see from these labels, it's definitely quite old. I did a little bit of research, and I think this is from like the 70s or 80s, which is pretty cool. And it's this nice like heather gray color. And yeah, this should be a little bit over 1,000 meters. So I should be able to get a sweater or something close to it out of this. I don't know exactly what I'll make with it yet, but I know I like this color. And I like Rama's yarn, and that was a good deal. The last purchase I made at the estate sale the first day was some fiber. So this came with a little paper. It is American Romidale and Romidale cross wool with silk and silk noils in it. And it is just like a pretty greenish, brownish, some yellow, very earthy blend. And I just love all the flecks in it. Almost dropped it there. I haven't weighed this yet. I'm not sure how much, or I don't know how much fiber this is, but yeah, I thought this was a really pretty color. Definitely in my color palette. I don't really have too much colored. I have a pretty limited fiber stash right now. So just getting things as I see them, but not trying to build up too much stash either. Apparently this is made in Montana, and it is from 3 bags full. That's kind of fun. I am keeping all of this thrifted stuff separate from all of my new yarn, and promptly after this video I'm going to put all of this stuff in the freezer for multiple days to make sure any bad moth, bugs, whatever gross stuff can happen with old yarn and fiber does not get into my fresh new yarn stash. So yeah, that is a warning with working with thrifted and old yarn, is make sure you're not bringing yucky stuff into your house. I did also go, like I said, I went back to the estate sale. It was like a multi-day thing, and because they had shelves and shelves and boxes of books, and I was interested, but I was like, I needed to go through the yarn and all of the fiber and all of that separately, and I was like, my limit of shopping and like overstimulation of all that was there was like hit, so I was like, let me go back the next day and just focus on books, because I did want to like really go through all the books. But I have like 10-ish books to show. I'm going to save all that to the end, and I'm just going to focus on like yarn and everything else first. So one other larger purchase I made this month secondhand was a spinning wheel. So I started spinning earlier this year. And I originally just bought an e-spinner. I have the electric EEW, I'm forgetting the specs. I'll put it on the screen. I have an electric wheel that I do really love, but I have been wanting like a true, wooden proper spinning wheel. So I've just been keeping an eye out. I have taken spinning classes at a local farm and had reached out to see if they knew of any wheels, and they had just found, someone had posted this wheel on Craigslist for like $125, which was a great price for the quality and condition of the wheel. It is this, it's a Frick brand wheel, and it has them like mermaid single pedal, and yeah, it is very beautiful. I'm very excited to learn how to use it. I've attempted, it is quite different than my electric wheel. I just kind of need to spend some dedicated time getting used to it. Or I guess just a different setup and feel to it compared to an electric small little compact wheel. So yeah, I haven't used it too much yet, but it's in great working condition. It's been very exciting. It came with like 7 or 8 bobbins, which is great. And yeah, I'm really excited to also start learning how to use that piece of equipment. So with that, yeah, like I said, I had to order a banding, like it's like the thing that connects it all. Clearly I'm not well versed in how spinning wheels, all the moving parts of a spinning wheel, but it's basically just a band that connects the bottom to the top to make it actually spin. So yeah, I ended up purchasing that from Paradise Fibers, and while I was on there, I was looking just at what they had, and I made one yarn purchase, which was this Noro Kakigori yarn. So here it is. It is so summery and fun, and there's so many colors in this ball. So there's blues, oranges, pinks, yellows, kind of rainbow. And this is 50% cotton, 30% silk, 10% viscose, 10% polyamide. And this is the color number 1 of the Kakigori yarn. So this is 600 meters, and it is a like light sport weight kind of yarn. So I plan to make another sabai top with this. I have a sabai top I made this summer, which I made in black yarn, which is a good basic staple, but I wanted something a little more fun and summery. So this is very different vibe, but I really love that pattern and would like to remake it again, hopefully this summer. So that was my purchase from Paradise Fibers. Another place I shopped this month was from the Woolly Thistle, which is a yarn store here in the US that focuses a lot on British and other European wools, which is great to be able to get some of those things here in the US. And I bought things for 2 sweaters. So the first one I will show you is this cone. This is my first time buying cone like this for a sweater. So this is the Jameson & Smith 2-ply jumper weight cone. So this is a 500 gram cone that is equivalent to like 20 balls of yarn. So this is over 2,000 meters worth of yarn. And they're $78, which is a pretty good deal because you can definitely get a sweater and then some, maybe even 2 sweaters or a sweater and a vest out of one of these cones. This is UK 100% wool. It's a fingering weight yarn, and I got it in FC15 is the color. It is this nice like lighter blue. It has a little bit of variation in it, and I've really been enjoying knitting it. So this I bought for a secret test knit, so I can't talk too much about the pattern because it's going to be published in a book, so just the details of the test knit need to be kept secret. But I'll show you my swatch. It is a cabled project. It is my first cable project ever, and I'm doing a sweater, which is a little ambitious, but I'm really enjoying it. Here's my swatch, and I really love how this yarn is working up. It's been really fun to work with, and I definitely recommend this, and we'll probably be using this yarn again in the future. And my other purchase from the Woolly Thistle was yarn for the Mimi sweater by Thistle. This pattern came out maybe in the past 6 months, and I have not stopped thinking about it since I first saw it. It is this like drop shoulder, oversized, thicker striped sweater, but it has this really cool slip stitch detail that like goes along the border of all the stripes. And so I bought some yarn for this, and it's a little hard to see in the sample photo, but it is made with 5 colors. So in the sample, it's like a cream, a black, a maroon, the blue, and then the white for the slip stitch detail. So I very heavily inspired by that. Picked a very similar color palette. Let's see if I can hold all of these at once. Okay, here we go. Ta-da! This is my color palette. So yeah, as you can see, quite similar to the sample, with a blue, a maroon, a black, a cream, or this is more brownish, I guess, and then I have this cream color that I'll use for the slip stitch detail. So yeah, I ended up getting Rama Fivel for this, Fivel. The Rama colorways. This is colorway 7. This is black. It's color 36. This one is color 4078. The maroony color is color 6. And this beige is 206. Don't believe this was one of these suggested yarns, but I just made a best guess that this would work well based on what was suggested. So I'm just going to hold these single. I'm not doing like holding it with a mohair or anything like that for the pattern. And yeah, I'm excited. I don't think I've used this yarn before, but based on the initial feel, I'm liking what I see. And yeah, I probably won't start this sweater until the fall, just based on all the things I have going on right now. But yeah, I'm excited to have these yarns. I like this color combo. I'm excited to make this sweater, and I will report back. And on the topic of Woolly Thistle, I do have an affiliate link with the Woolly Thistle. So if you want to shop there and want to support me, if you click the link I'll have in the description, that just lets them know that I sent you there, and I will get a percentage of the money from the sale, basically. So if you'd like to support me in that way, and are interested in shopping at the Woolly Thistle, I will link that. But of course, no pressure, just wanted to let you know that's an option. So I really love their offerings. They have so much good woolly wool, so I would definitely recommend checking them out. And they actually have a YouTube channel with some really great videos as well, so I'll link that too. I have 2 more yarn orders. The first is a quick one. I ordered from KnitPicks. I got this salvage sport weight yarn, and it is 95% cotton, which is 62 to 75% recycled cotton, and 5% other fiber. So it's a mostly recycled cotton yarn. So here it is. It's like a nice creamy, like off-white, can sometimes read gray, light gray. Sometimes it looks more cream, but a nice neutral color in a nice light summery cotton yarn. And the colorway is less is more. And I have just so barely cast on a project for this. I bought it for the Sunny Tea. The last online order I made was from Wool & Company. That is another online yarn store that I very much love. They are based in the US and they carry a lot of major popular yarn brands, and they do free shipping. So love that. Always have free shipping. Yeah, a lot of their brands too. They will do 10% off if you spend more than $100, which is nice. And then they also will wind your balls for free if you want. So love them. They carry a lot and have a lot of colorways in stock. So for them, I made an order to buy more of the Barocco Modern Cotton. I used this in a different colorway earlier in the summer and really loved it. But this time I got the color 1631, and yeah, it's this nice like bluish, little purpley periwinkle kind of color. It is a worsted weight, 60% Pima cotton, 40% modal. Why is that sounding weird? 40% 40% modal rayon. And I already had this in the white colorway. This is color 1600. So my plans were to make a striped sweater. I want to make the Olga sweater with these, and yeah, a little bit more of a summery sweater, making it with cotton. So yeah, I had previously worked with like I think the colorway was like lemonade or something, kind of like a lighter yellow color. And I was thinking about, I have a little bit left over. I was thinking about doing like accents, maybe like the collar or the bottom or like the end of the sleeves or something with the yellow. So yeah, but I think the majority of the sweater will be these colors. And I've not yet cast that on, but hopefully I'll get to that soon. And then my other sweater order was for another secret test knit. Yeah, I'm doing 2 secret test knits that are both, I believe, for the same book, but 2 different designers. But yeah, I can't say too much about them because they're going to be published in a book and it's a little secret until then. But anyways, I bought, or I guess this one required 2 colors, a main color and a contrast color. And one of the suggested yarns was Cascade 220, which I already had some of this like rusty colorway in stash. So I had enough for this to be the contrast color. So I was looking at, there are so many colors of Cascade 220, but I settled on this very dark, rich brown color. This is color 7822. And yeah, Cascade 220 is 100% Peruvian Highland wool. It's a medium worsted weight yarn, and yeah, I've really enjoyed working with it. I've heard great things about how it wears. It's on the more affordable side for a 100% wool yarn. So excited to have a sweater with this. I do really love this color combo, and I will show you the pattern I'm making is a 2-color brioche. So here's my little swatch. I did some just the one color with the main color, and then I tried it with the contrast color here as well. And I really like how they look together. So excited about this color combo, and I'm really loving working with this yarn so far. And like I mentioned, Wool & Company they do 10% off of 100 on some of the brands. Most of the brands, the big ones I do. So both Cascade and Barocco count in that, and I was just under the threshold to where if I added another like $10 yarn, it would be 10% off, so it'd be basically free. Girl math. And so I got this. This is just a sock yarn, so I'll use it for a pair of socks or an accessory. But it's Cascade Yarns Heritage in this nice olivey green color. It is 75% superwash, 25% nylon, And yeah, I've used Heritage before a couple times, and I just think it's very soft and nice to work with. So got to get that for free. So that is finally all of the yarn. Whew. I just have books left to talk about. So a handful of knitting, fiber, arch design related books. An arm workout. Oh my gosh. But yeah, mostly from the estate sale. I think one of these I bought new and the rest are secondhand. So the one I did buy new is a dictionary of color combinations. It is in Japanese, but I heard about this from one of the recent vlogs from All Wool Fiber. She posted about this book. It's a great reference book for color combinations. So they have a bunch of 2 color combinations, 3 color combinations, and also some 4 color combinations. So there's just like a bunch of pages of just color combo ideas. I think this would be really useful for a number of things, but I probably will use it for knitting color work or patterns with multiple colors as a reference to help pick out color combos. So that was my thought with that one. A lot of these are from the estate sale, and I didn't look at them too closely, but they were like $1 or $5. So I just like having like books and reference books and things around. So this is 401 Design Meditations, which says wisdom, insights, and intriguing thoughts from 244 leading designers. It was a $5 book from the estate sale, and yeah, it just has like wisdom and advice and silly drawings, and yeah, I thought this would just be a fun one to flip through and maybe use as journal prompts or something like that. This one is called Zen and the Art of Knitting, exploring the links between knitting, spirituality, and creativity. So I just like the topic. I think it's mostly text, a little bit less on the imagery or anything with this one, but yeah, excited to, I don't know if this is one you read in full or more of like a reference book, but I just like the topic of connecting knitting with spirituality, so something to read about. This one I bought from Thrift Books, which is a great used book website I use a lot. This is Joseph Alber's Interaction of Color. So yeah, I've been thinking a little bit about color theory and color combinations, and this one's published by Yale University Press, so it reads a little bit more like academic color theory kind of thing. But yeah, seems to be a lot of good stuff in here on just like learning about color theory. I got a couple like design kind of books, partially because I do want to learn more about these things, and I think they make for fun reference and like coffee table books, but also because they were like $1. This one I like the way it looks. Particularly, it's called Principles of Form and Design. And it seems to just be like design basics. Yeah, lots of good illustration and text in this one. And I think this could just be a fun reference inspiration book. On that topic, another $1 design book, Visual Awareness and Design, an introductory program in conceptual awareness, perceptual sensitivity, and basic design skills. Another one that I liked the way it looked, and yeah, it's got some design stuff in it. And this one, I just love this cover. This is called Origins of Form, the shape of natural and man-made things, why they came to be the way they are and how they change. Which sounds like a pretty interesting concept, so maybe I will like actually read this one a little bit more, but I do really love the cover. So here's another one. I did find a spinning book at the estate sale that I was interested in. This is Get Spun, the step-by-step guide to spinning art yarns. So yeah, it says funky, beautiful, functional yarns are within reach. And it just has a lot of good instructional material on spinning and blending fiber, making different colorful bats, and then like actually spinning yarn, like how to work with spinning locks or making something with elastic, or like making more like boucle style yarns, or there's stuff on like adding beads, all sorts of fun stuff. So yeah, excited about this one. This one is called Studio. It was the most expensive. It was $20, but it's like a hefty book. It is Creative Spaces for Creative People. That's what it says. It's just a lot of text and just photos of people's art studio spaces. So I'm kind of working on building out, my own arts spaces. So this is just a fun reference book. Like, so many different styles. Like, look at that. That's wild. And then there's a whole, I think some of it is sectioned off based on like the style of art, but there's like a whole section on fiber studios. Let's see if I can find it again. Here, fashion and textiles. Like, I really love this space. I thought this was just fun to look at and good inspiration. And the last book I bought is a little silly, but it made me happy, so I bought it. It's called Patchwork Folk Art. It's like quilting techniques. I don't quilt. Maybe I will one day. But look at how cute this is. And there's just so many like silly little ideas in here with like farm animals and like, look at these. Girls at the seaside. Whoops. Look at how cute they are. Aren't they? Don't they look happy? It's just so sweet. Little chickens. So, yeah, that one was just more for fun. Okay, that's finally everything. It's a lot of stuff. I feel good about all of it, though. I think I have pretty solid plans for most of it, or at least concepts of a plan for the rest of it. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any favorites or any ideas or anything for me. I really film like more dedicated videos to either my spinning wheel or my knitting machine, or both. So let me know if you're curious about either of those things. I would love if you would subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night, and I will see you next time. Bye.